Okay, welcome to my tutorial on IFR flying in VATSIM. We're going to go ahead and get started. I made a simple PowerPoint presentation that's just going to get you basics, what you need to know. Like I said, just enough to get you flying without making a fool of yourself. The table of contents of what we're going to have. First, we're going to talk about IFR clearance, how to request it, the different parts of the clearance, and some ATC etiquette, which includes readback and some phraseology. Then we'll talk about SIDs and stars. IFR clearance. Different parts of requesting clearance. There are a number of steps involved, but they're all pretty simple. First, you have to file a flight plan with whatever program you're using, be it FSN or Squawk Box. Then you have to listen to the correct ATIS information. It's going to make your world and the controller's world a whole lot easier, trust me. Then you have to contact the appropriate controller. It'll be more than likely the clearance delivery controller. If there's no clearance, you go to ground. If there's no ground, you go to tower, etc., so on up the chain. 4, you copy the clearance that they're going to give you. And 5, read back the clearance. That's the most important part. Okay, this is the proper way to file a flight plan in your program. I'm not going to go into specifics for each program since there are multiple programs to use. This is just the basic format that you would type in. You do your SID, followed by your period, then your transition that you're leaving the SID, any waypoints in between, then your transition, followed by period, and your star. Just an example, this is from St. Louis to Kansas City. The route that you type in would be the Ozark 3, period, MCM, which is the Macon transition, period, BQS4, which stands for the Bramer 4 arrival. This one's weird because there are no waypoints in between. You got your SID, your transition, and then your star, and also your transition. That happens because the SIDs and stars can easily stretch out hundreds of miles. This one is a longer one, so there will be waypoints in between. You have the Ozark 3 St. Louis transition, then the J110 RSK VOR, J64, then the PGS and River 2. These are your waypoints in between there. There we go, your waypoints, and then here's your SID and transition, and your star and transition. This is a clearance that you could receive. This is actually the call sign that I use, but the clearance would be read to you as follows. American 233 cleared to Kansas City International Airport via the Ozark 3 departure, Macon transition, then it's filed. Maintain 5,000, expect flight level 22010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.15, squawk 1713. Now I know that seems like a lot, but we're going to go through the parts of it individually real quick. This is the call sign, pretty self-explanatory. This is your destination. Your SID and the transition, we'll get to that, but this SID happens to be called the Ozark 3 right here, as you can see. Macon transition, we'll learn about those later. Then it's filed. Maintain 5,000, which is your initial altitude, which means after takeoff you go to that altitude. The expect flight level 22010 minutes after departure, that is a lost communications procedure, which means that in the event that you would have a radio failure, or the ATC would happen to be gone, or on VATSIM if they weren't online, you can continue climb up to your cruising altitude 10 minutes after takeoff. Departure frequency is the controller that you would contact after takeoff. Squawk code is what you would put in your transponder. It's a 4-digit code that each aircraft has individually that can change. The controller assigns you one, and that basically tells the controller when they see on their radar that, hey, this is American 233, so that way they don't get it mixed up. Some ATC etiquette. It's going to help you sound professional and gain respect in the controlling world. you have to read back, like I said earlier. You must, at a minimum, hence right here, minimum means you can do others too, but you have to read back the squawk code. Read it as they read it to you, with some minor modifications, and this is what the readback would sound like from our clearance. You would read your clearance, and then you would read back this: American 233 cleared to Kansas City International Airport via the Ozark 3 departure make and transition. Maintain 5,000, expect flight level 220, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.15, squawk 1713, so they're almost exactly the same. And that's pretty much that part of it. Alright, so I don't have a super long movie. I'm going to take a break, then I'll do one section for SIDS and one section for stars. So stay tuned for the other two sections of this tutorial.